So, it looks like we've got a new job. Oh my gosh. So, the Empress wants me to solve a murder mystery. I wish to offer my condolences for the passing of Emperor Gaozong. Although I never had the privilege of meeting him, I was an admirer of his reforms. Your sentiments, appreciated Magistrate Dai. My husband was indeed a great man. He led our country onto the world stage, and now it's up to us to fulfill that destiny. Now is the time to look to the future. Does your Majesty have a special interest in this case? Surely only weeks after your enthronement ceremony, police matters are the least of your concerns. On the contrary, there is no greater threat to the Empire than the spread of fear and hatred from within. Without law and order, this house of cards is but a tremor away from crumbling. Whatever the cost, I will see to it that those seeking to disturb the peace shall never find any of their own. What can you tell me about the victim? Xu Linfei met a horrible end. At first strangled to her death, her misery did not stop there. After taking her life, the murderer went on to mutilate her, carving out her heart and taking it from her lifeless body. Oh, yuck. I ask you, what matter of barbarism is that? Such hatred would suggest the killer may have known the victim, perhaps someone close, someone seeking revenge. Whatever the motive, I want to see this wretched killer captured and punished for what he's done. I will not stand for such depravity. The whole of the country watches my every move. I will not have my mandate tarnished by a deviant. And the accused was the victim's father. Your predecessor believed that the victim's father, Zhu Dan, came to represent his daughter for him. He came to resent his daughter for abandoning him for several years. She eventually returned, but by then his heart had soured and filled with hate, igniting this violent outburst. But your Majesty doesn't believe this theory? Not for a second. Setting aside the fact that the father's an old, blind man, only a fool could theorize that a woman so obviously devoted to her father could deserve such retribution. Even during all those years away from his side, she made sure to send money for his care. Besides, your predecessor would have sooner have forced a square peg into a round hole than do any real police work. So the victim, what was her name? Xu Linfei, okay. I've told you everything I know. As for what is still unknown, I expect you to uncover it and return the favor. You may speak to Commander Yao if you need additional assistance. She's my most trusted officer. Thank you, Your Majesty. Let's see, can I look at her? I've heard so much about her, but what to believe? What hides beneath her icy facade? And let's talk to, Yao. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself before. My name is D. Renji. I know who you are. Yes, of course, you must have heard of Her Majesty's... You're the head of her... whatever, you work for Her Majesty. I'm no more security... I'm not a security guard. I'm Yao Mei, commander of the Imperial Guard. I meant no offense. I see it in your posture. You carry yourself with the poise of a highly skilled martial artist. I dabbled in the martial arts myself when I was young, though I discovered early that I had no gift for it. But you, on the other hand, must be a very talented and brave warrior. Why else would the Empress put you in charge of her personal safety? I suggest you tread carefully, Dai Renjai. Her Majesty wishes to give you an opportunity to show your allegiance, but I am the one you will have to face if that trust is betrayed. I applaud your diligence, Commander Yao, but my intentions are pure. I'll be the judge of that. What do you want? Well, tell me about yourself. I have no time for small talk. If you wish to know more about me, I suggest you seek out the answers for yourself, detective. What can you tell me about the Empress? Her Majesty is a strong and fearless leader. What she's endured and overcome is a shining example for all of us. But I think a detective of your stature could easily detect such qualities. And do you know anything about the Xu Linfei case? Only that the man who did it deserves to die 1,000 deaths. The man? You believe the father's guilty? No, that's not what I said. I simply meant that I've never known a woman capable of such brutality. Have you? No, I can't say that I have. Listen carefully, D. Renjei. I do not trust you. I have no reason to trust you. I do not know you, and from my perspective, nor does the Empress. What you do from this moment forward will signal to me whether you truly are a trustworthy ally or an adversary to be dealt with. Your fierce loyalty is commendable, Commander Yao. With time, I do hope I can gain your trust. Gosh. Very threatening. No place to go besides the Justice Department. Old leaves. What are old leaves here? Some old leaves. Okay. Gosh, I can't go to the palace. And there is really nothing here in the Justice Department besides... Oh, to the lobby. Now I can go to the lobby. Magistrate Dai, you're back. I'm your first lieutenant, Ma Dawei. We spoke briefly last night when you arrived. I take it you've returned from your visit with the Empress. How did it go? Meetings like that make me so nervous, I just start babbling, you know? One moment I'm all quiet, and the next I'm going on and on about heaven knows what. I'm doing it right now, until I'll shut up now, sir. You don't have to be nervous around me, Ma. I was kind of nervous with the Empress. I was indeed a bit nervous in Her Majesty's presence, but the meeting was productive. It seems we have a lot of work ahead of us. Certainly, sir, I'm here to help any way I can. Good, let's begin with the Xu Linfei case. I need to know all the details and see the evidence collected. Yes, of course. I was hoping we could get another crack at that case, but I'm afraid there isn't much to look at, sir. Everything we have is inside that evidence box. I've laid it out in the dust behind me. It's a shame, really, but Magistrate Liu, he wasn't one for paperwork. Liu? Do you mean Liu Zelen? He was the previous magistrate? That's right, sir. You know him? Yes, he was a classmate of mine during my time at the Imperial Academy. Sadly, he was the kind of person who enjoyed preying on less privileged, a bully through and through. But owing to his father's position as a powerful minister, Zelen's misconduct was routinely ignored. Worse still, he was even granted a few shortcuts along the way. That was many years ago. I haven't seen him since. I hate to speak out of turn, but I feel I must. You see, I believe Magistrate Liu was wrong to accuse the victim's father. I believe Xu Dan is innocent. You needn't worry about speaking your mind. Why do you think he's innocent? Well, it's the way she was killed. It seems almost wicked, like an evil soul out for blood. Even from my limited contact with him, I just don't think Xu Dan is capable of that. In that case, you'll be relieved to hear the Empress herself has requested we reopen the investigation. Really? That's great news, sir. Say the word, I'm at your disposal. Whatever you need. So what about yourself, Lieutenant Ma? Everyone calls me Lucky Ma around here. The nickname's stuck after I won a few card games with the fellows around the office. In any case, I've been at the station for 2 years now. Before that, I was a police constable in my hometown of Shanwei in the Liangnan province. For most of my life, I lived in a small fishing village, so when my transfer request was approved, I was promoted to work here. It was a dream come true. Your family must be proud. Yes, my parents were very happy. My wife, you should have seen her, sir. When I told her we'd be living in Chang'an, she nearly shattered my eardrums from sheer excitement. Tell me more about the crime. Of course, what'd you like to know? The victim, what could you tell me about her? We know she's 21 years old, but not much else. She was a complete loner, had no ties to anyone or anything except her father. Even her neighbors knew nothing about her, save for the fact that she kept to herself. Did her father have anything to add? He maintains that since her return 2 months ago, she's been his sole caregiver, spending most of her days at home. He also said several times a week she'd visit temples here in the city. Might give me an idea to visit a few of them and ask about her, but the monks who remembered her all said the same thing. She'd pray for hours at a time, often mumbling words no one else could hear or understand. She returned 2 months ago. Where was she before that? All he knows is that for 5 years she worked as a maidservant for a wealthy family living outside the city. During that time, she sent money back to her father through a messenger, but she never visited him herself. While holding him in lockup, he'd like to interrogate him. So interesting, she was a maidservant who went back to take care of her elderly father. Wasn't that something that was said about in the previous case? The maidservant was a replacement for one who went back to take care of her elderly father. But she returned 2 months ago, and that would have been like a year ago. So maybe it's just a coincidence that the two maidservants have a similar story. So what about the father, Xu Dan? He served the Imperial Army for many years until his wife died in a fire. That same incident cost him his eyesight, but he managed to take care of his young daughter for many years. But as he grew older and weaker, he was the one who needs care. Why did Louis accuse him? Magistrate Louis believes Xu Dan felt betrayed when his daughter went away. Did Xu Dan confess? No, sir, the opposite. He denies any wrongdoing. What was the cause of death? Strangulation, but she was also mutilated posthumously. The killer cut her open and took her heart. It hurts my stomach just to think about it. You'll want to speak to the coroner or Mr. Yao. He'll be able to tell you more. What's in the evidence box? We collected 3 pieces of evidence from the crime scene. The first is a broken walking stick which belongs to the father. The second is a rose we found next to the victim's body, clearly left by the killer, from the looks of it. And the third is a life-size sketch I made of the bloody footprint we found inside the house. Sketch? Yes, I've always had an affinity for drawing, so I try to put it to good use from time to time. My wife even thinks I could have made a life as a painter, though I'm pretty sure she's just teasing. And who reported the crime? Night watchman was making his rounds in the neighborhood when he saw Zhu Dan running out of his house in a mad panic. Zhu Dan was calling for help and screaming his daughter's name all at once. After watchman peered into the house and saw the carnage that had been done, he came here directly to report the crime. Okay, so let's talk about these two final things and then end this video. I gather you must have worked for Liu Zelen for a period. What can you tell me about him? I suppose... No, timid lieutenant. Timid lieutenant. It's not gossip I'm after. I'm only interested in how he performed his duties as an officer of the court. To put it bluntly, Magistrate Liu did not seem to care much about his duties at all. He was more interested in his reputation and law and order. Most of the time he delegated his work to his subordinates, although I don't think he knew any of us by name. I shudder to think of the miseries left in his wake. Hopefully, if Zhu Dan is innocent, we can at least right one of his wrongs. Yes, sir. Tell me about the Justice Department. Of course, sir. The Justice Department's the beating heart of all law and order in Chang'an. And since the Empress's enthronement, we have officers patrolling the city at all times. Even the night watchmen report to us. The compound itself serves many purposes, but the East Wing, where we currently are, is home to the investigative branch. Directly below you is the way to the lockup, and behind me is a hallway that leads to the morgue. Oh, I almost forgot. I hope you found your private quarters to your liking. I asked my wife to help make it as cozy as possible for you. I'm afraid I'm terrible at that kind of thing. Indeed, the room's quite lovely. Please say thank you to your wife for me. I marked the victim's house on your map, but you'll probably want to speak to Zhu Dan and the coroner Yao before you want to head out there. I think I have what I need for now. Thank you, Lieutenant. I'm at your disposal, sir. So those are two spaces. We're going to go to lockup, and it looks like, well, we can go examine the evidence box. And where's the morgue? The morgue is sort of over here to the back. Yeah, so we're going to check out evidence and the morgue before going to check out the crime scene.